item is approval of minutes from the December 16, 2020 meeting. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, got a first and a second. Is there any discussion, any changes that need to be made? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Very good. We got the minutes done. Update on the incorporation status. We have paid Missouri Secretary of State for the application fee that was taken care of in last part of July. Good grief. Last part of December, if I'm correct. I spoke with them last week. Needless to say, they are very frustrated down there. She was very edgy with me on the phone. So I was at least able to, we have a case number now. They had not started on it as of earlier this week or end of last week. So but we're higher in the queue because we've paid and we have a case number. So still holding, but I will be watching that as it comes through. So, which should be any time if they're 8 to 12 weeks plays out, but understandable. So. Status of the new board member. I do know that Jordan, Eileen, and Councilman I should say Mayor and Councilman Hobart have met. They've selected their preliminary, and that will be presented at the study session, presumably on Monday. And then was this week a council meeting or a study session now? Oh, no, it was a council. It was council on Tuesday night. That's council. Yeah. So I'm sorry. So presumably on Monday, then they should bring it up at study session with the boards and commissions and then vote on it the following week.
Yeah, we'll see. I just got that to the city clerk today just because I've been slow on that front. But yeah, so city clerk is going to move to get that in front of them as soon as possible. And I can know who it is if you guys are interested. It's Conrad Lamb. He had been a former, I think, City of Lee's Summit finance director for many years, it sounds like. So that was their initial pick. I reached out to him. He is interested in appointment. So yeah, that's going forward to council, next available meeting whenever they do that. And so he'll probably attend our meeting in February. And I can reach out, and Laura, if you want to be on that call too, or reach out, after he's appointed too, we can make that however we want to work that. But I'll make sure to at least reach out to him after that's done and let him know when the next meeting is and all that good stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. We'll plan to work on that. Eileen sent me a picture of his information as well, so I've got it here, but we'll coordinate on a time. And it also says on his application, now he does live in Lee Summit, but he owns properties in the Southwest Independence redevelopment area. So he's qualified to do that. And he also mentions on his application that he has worked on several 353s. He said at John Knox or something in that, something referencing John Knox, but he is apparently he probably should have been here on the beginning, and then he could have been the president because he probably knows more about 353s than I do. So it sounds like we're going to be getting someone really good. And Crystal just posted on Facebook yesterday that they are buying a house in Georgia and will be gone soon. So we're going to best serve them.
Okay.
That's the status on that. Marketing plans I am working on, and for the life of me, I apologize why I can't seem to get it done in a month's time. I don't know why I worked on it and then I work on something else and put it aside, but I have copied the language off of the city's website under the 353 for the Southwest and, for our group, basically our 353, and I'm just cleaning that up. And I will send that to Jordan when it's done to get it posted up there. If we all wanted to read it, that'd be fine. I think it's a very standard stuff. Basically what I did was I copied out of what was for the Fairmount Carlisle 353, frequently asked questions. How do I get an application? What's the area? All that type of thing. So it's not going to be anything stunning and new. It's just the basics type thing. So so I'll get that to Jordan either by the end of this week or the first part of next week. So when they get a chance to update the website, they can do that. And then just as far as marketing goes, I kept wanting to think in my head that I would come up with this brochure. Hello, Karen. that I would have some like brochure that would have, I don't want to use the word cute. Cute's not the right word, but something kind of like one of those infographics, you know, type things. But I think at this point, maybe it just needs to be simple, you know, just needs to be simple words. You know, and Jordan and I talked about it before Christmas and we haven't, you know, circled back around, but I think it just needs to be the basics of it, you know, where the area is at. I mean, we'll mirror these questions, these frequently asked questions that'll be on the website, you know, with at the bottom to say, you know, if you have, you know, need any further information, contact Jordan at, you know, or, you know, whatever. So I think we just, like I said, if we'd had a graphics person, I would have loved to see something a little more interesting, but I don't have that ability and I don't know anybody that I can ask to do that right off the top of my head. So we're just going to kind of have a 1-page explanation of it. And then I think, Jordan, you and I, we probably should schedule a deadline to get this out onto all the city social media platforms. I know the city scene just came out for January, so we've got a few weeks to make sure that we get something to them. So it'll come out in the next round of that. But and I don't know if we would want to work with Meg on when's a good time to get something like that out. If she has some, you know, SEO thoughts on, you know, what's a good time to post those kinds of things or whatever. But
yeah, the thought I have, Laura, is after you get some of that language worked up for the website, that'll act as a good basis for that. And then let's sit down and talk at that time about it. And maybe I'll schedule something with Meg and we can kind of talk about how she wants to, because I think City Scene, she actually works a couple months ahead. I mean, that's not to say we couldn't if she had space to fill for next month, but we might be looking more at March to get something in City Scene specifically. But I can reach out to her now and see, hey, we'd like to do something. What's the soonest we can do? So I'll do that.
Well, and I think that's also good too, because if we, you know, you don't have to put it all out at once. It's probably best that we do put it out and then they see it again in City Scene. So it's like, oh, that's the second time I've seen that. You know, I need to ask those questions and that type of thing. So, and Lance, I don't know if you have talked to Greg or not. I know he had mentioned talking to Lesnick and, you know, and Jody over at the EDC about, I'm sorry, in the chamber about getting information out to them. Do you know if he had a chance to speak with any of them about doing something presentation?
No, he talked to me briefly about that, and then that's when all the holidays were hitting. So honestly, I have not done that. So I don't know if he's done that. I didn't get it done, but he did talk briefly with me about that.
Okay. Because I also don't have a problem reaching out to, you know, to Tom Lesnick or whatever, and, you know, seeing how they would like, you know, they have their little meetings. Sometimes I assume everything is virtual now, you know, maybe they would want to do a little session on it then, or they want us to just get them information that they would put out on their website and their, you know, to their email list and that kind of stuff. But like I said, let's finish this website stuff. I don't know how fast IT will be able to get it up on the website once we are ready to go anyway. So when we get that piece done, then I think we should pursue getting those out to the word out to those people and the retailers over there, Beth and Dan O'Neill and people like that. So any other thoughts on marketing at all? Okay. Any new business? Anybody? I'm just curious if anybody is. Paul has been reaching out tremendously. We've probably had what, 3 or 4 people that Paul has already.
I don't know. I know that Sandy DeShepard is interested because her project's finished, and I gave her. I suggested contacting by email because that's where it's going to end up anyway. You'll call up and say, "Hey, Jordan, I'm so and so." I said, "Well, give me your email address and I'll send you the information and tell you what you got to do." So that's pending, and I know David has got that great big project there on the Boulevard. Laura, you probably have seen it. You drive it by once a day.
Yeah. Which one? Which project is that?
It's Blue Ridge Boulevard there on the and Ralston, right there on the corner. He's got that great big front lot. And he's putting out a new garage. He's put out a new bedroom. I mean, it's
where it's framed out right now, isn't it? Is that where it's at? Is it the framing stage? Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, he's a city employee.
Yes.
What department does he work in?
I didn't ask.
It doesn't matter. I'm just curious. Yeah, so if we can, I mean, we would be ready to go with those people if, you know, as soon as they're ready to get a hold of us, I think we can proceed, you know, with, you know, like hers, if the one is done already,
Yeah.
you know, and we can get started with that, it would be a, you know, dip our toes in, let's get our feet wet. Let's see how one of these goes.
Started, yeah. She's 73, 74 years old. She's a retired school teacher, and she is just very excited about getting this going. So
okay,
I can follow up with that later this week too. So
And Paul, after we had our discussion about that, her daughter was the one reaching out to me, and she had left me a voicemail, and I just hadn't gotten back to her. So she reached out via email. I've passed information on to her.
excellent.
And what I've been doing when people get to me is basically giving them the guidelines and the application and letting them know, hey, review these. If you feel like you want to move forward, let me know, and we'll set up a meeting and go from there. One thing I did want to talk about or mention, Tom and I kind of decided this week that we are going to have Pat Robinson help, you know, kind of lead some of those meetings. I may be involved first, you know, start having these meetings, but I just don't have the time to, you know, if we continue to have as much interest as we have at this point, to sit down with all these folks on my own. So Pat is going to step into that role that she's done with the others. But I'll work with her on these first couple, because I know several of you are interested in kind of seeing how those first meetings go.
Yes.
And so I'll make sure that, you know, and I'll try to be there as well, but I'll make sure that Pat and I are coordinating on the first couple, and then, you know, after that, we'll kind of see how that goes. So
yeah, then we'll fall into a routine.
If I could ask you, Paul, did these people come to you, or are they neighbors and you noticed they were doing work? And so
the one there at Blue Ridge and Ralston. Okay, I walk the boulevard pretty near every day, and I go from where I live, you know, all the way down to Sterling, and I walk right by his house, and I saw, you know, doing stuff in the backyard. I thought at first he was putting a swimming pool in, and so I kept watching for, you know, him to be out in the yard, and I approached him.
Yeah.
And talked to him and his wife, and he pulled out the blueprints, showed me the permits. I mean, he showed me everything, and he was very excited about his project, and he was excited about this program as well. And the other one, Miss Shepherd, another walker. I met another walker out there, and, you know, we talk with other walkers, and just we both happened to do it in front of this house there at Ralston in Blue Ridge. And he said, well, my neighbors just finished that, you know, siding and new windows. And you think she would qualify? And he says, I absolutely think she would. And I said, let me give you the information. And so that's what I did. I kind of printed off the cover sheet. I now carry some in my glove box. So I'm looking. And I'll look. If I can't talk to them, I'll stick it in the door.
There you go.
but what information exactly are you giving them? I guess I'm curious.
Well, okay. It's very simple. It's the cover page for the Southwest 353 program. You know, and I put down at the very bottom Jordan's contact information. And then I got one sheet out of the plan that describes the area and the tiers. And, you know, if you're, by the way, also put down the city website, you know, so if you're interested, he says, you know, please contact us. And then, by the way, I leave my name and number too, since I'm the one that's reaching out. Well, you're not so-and-so. Well, you know, so I've given them my information as well.
Yeah. Well, see, and that sounds like that's the sheet that we need. You know what I mean? So you pulled that from the plan document?
Yes. Let me see. I'll shoot you a copy of what I send. I think I got it someplace.
Yeah, please do, because that's just basically what we need is
it's
the basics.
Probably too simple, but then I didn't want to scare anybody off, and I just wanted to just be aware of this if you're interested.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Shoot one out to us or to me or, whatever. And we can, because that's just what we need. It just needs to be the basics and who to get a hold of,
Mhm.
And the walkers out there are very efficient. I know, I know that you guys all know each other,
There's a whole bunch of us. I mean, it's seasonally for some, but nonetheless, yeah.
Well, and I had also, like I said, I've spoken to some real estate agents, and I also think that talking to people who do construction work, who could say, like, if you're going to try to go out and talk to these people about doing construction, make sure you have this information, because it could help them offer it as well, and I especially think once we get into spring where people are thinking more about that as opposed to just this dark time of the, when it's just not as fun to think about all the new things that you want to do and everything. I think we can really crank it up. So, okay. Anybody else have any other new business? Okay. If not, our next meeting is February 17th. Same time, same go-to. They'll send out the information. So in the meantime, if you guys have anything or have thoughts or whatever, send them out to me. And my job in the meantime is going to be to finish up this website word and get it to Jordan to get it out there. So there's a great link out there for people to see the information. And hopefully by the next month, we'll have the incorporation status. And hopefully by then too, we'll have our new member, Conrad, as well. So, all right. If nothing else, I will suggest a motion to adjourn.
So
Paul's
moved.
giving me a second behind there, I can tell. I know him. All right. All in favor, say bye. Take care, guys.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan.
Bye.
Bye.